I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Flagler County Sheriff's Office employees have agreed to a tentative settlement in their workers' comp claims that they say stem from the building having mold. The settlement offer comes after the county's insurer initially rejected all claims. An attorney for Sheriff's Office employees says they're thrilled with the offer that will avoid lengthy hearings before a judge. The terms of the settlement remain confidential for now. But what we do know is the Florida Sheriff's Risk Management won't admit that the Operations Center made employees sick, and they also won't pay employees medical bills. The settlement, if accepted, would also bar employees from suing the county for civil damages. Sheriff Rick Staley, who supported his employees from day one, says he's sorry they had to go through this process.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
We're going to continue to operate just like we do, and as far as I'm concerned, everything will stay the same in my office indefinitely.
That's Clerk of Court Tom Bexley saying he doesn't plan to accommodate the county's demand that he clear 5,000 square feet of space on the first floor of the courthouse to make room for Sheriff's Office employees. The Sheriff's Office has taken up residence in the building since their operations center was dubbed a sick building last year. Bexley says he can't clear any more space without compromising his own staff. County Administrator Jerry Cameron had hoped to avoid a conflict like the one that's unfolding. He fears the alternative will cost the taxpayers a large sum of money.
The next step, if we can't resolve the issue, I will have to rent space for the sheriff for the interim period because he simply cannot operate for the next 2 or 3 years in the conditions that he has been operating in.
Sheriff Staley is against leasing space due to the cost. He says it's not in the best interest of taxpayers. A man faces charges of grand theft auto and drug possession, Tony Magoo reports.
They call them LPRs, and they're license plate readers. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office is taking some bad guys off the streets using them. The last one was around 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when an LPR hit on a stolen vehicle from South Carolina that was in the Winn-Dixie parking lot on Palm Coast Parkway. Kevin Jean-Gilles, 37, from Orlando, was told to exit the vehicle and was detained while deputies searched the vehicle. A search of Jean-Gilles and his vehicle found 3 cell phones, 1 iPad, a credit card skimmer, 2 wireless routing devices, several credit cards not belonging to him, multiple sets of keys, large amounts of cash, and cocaine. Jean-Gilles was transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, charged with grand theft auto and possession of cocaine. He posted a $5,000 bond and was released. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
The Florida Department of Education has released scores for districts and schools, and as we hear from John Arking, it was good news for Flagler schools.
For the first time in 8 years, Flagler schools received an A rating from the state. Jason Wheeler is the Community Information Specialist for Flagler County Schools.
Obviously, we here with Flagler schools are just ecstatic about that. A lot of hard work has been gone in over these years trying to get that district over the hump from a B to an A. I know Superintendent Tager has really been stressing 4 specific areas. He wants to focus on literacy and high expectations, using our early warning systems to identify students who need the most support, increase our graduation rate, and then stress the acceleration opportunities for all of our students. We've made gains in all 4 areas, and it's now shown in our ranking as far as our grade for the district.
While the district's overall rating was an A, individual schools did better than others. Indian Trails Middle School, Belle Terre Elementary School, and Flagler, the district's virtual school, were all A schools, while Old Kings, Rimfire, and Wadsworth Elementary, along with Flagler Palm Coast High, Matanzas High, and Imagine Town Center, the lone charter school in the county, all earned a B. Buddy Taylor Middle and Bunnell Elementary received a C, but district officials were quick to point out they were both within 2 points of a B. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Earl.
Where's the bear? He could be anywhere.
That's why Eric Mead of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission says let the bear be.
If you see a bear, just leave it alone. Like this one here, they think he's just pretty much passing through, but if there's a food source around or something like that, he's going to stay because it's a lot easier to pick through trash than it is to go out and forage for his food in the woods.
Mead says that since the bear's been spotted, his department's received a number of bear sighting calls. He says they don't necessarily do anything with those calls, but make mental notes of where people have seen the bear. As with other animal sightings, Mead says, just let it be. You can hear the full interview on the Free for All Friday podcast. You can find that at the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.